Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Buster's Book Reviews. I think we're here on volume 45, and I think this may be the first time in the history of me doing this that I did the same author 3 times in a row. I'm not sure if I ever did the same one twice in a row. Yeah, I did. I did 2 Tammy Hogues in a row one time, but this time we have the 3rd Joanne Fluke book in a row, and this one is called Cobbler Murder. Okay, this kicks off after the events of the last book I reviewed. It's almost Valentine's Day, and Hannah's friend Lisa, her partner at the shop, is getting married on Valentine's Day. And Hannah's sister Andrea has set it all up and planned the whole thing out, and everything's good. Except that there is one thing that's not so good. You see, there was this secretary that Mike was hanging out with and taking around that Hannah was real jealous of. Her name was Shauna Lee. And she thought she was getting rid of Shauna Lee for good because her sister's old guy husband died and left her a freaking fortune. So Shauna Lee left to be with her sister, and she thought maybe Shauna Lee was going for good. Guess what? She wasn't going for good. Shauna Lee actually comes back with her sister, and they start up, guess what of all things? A bakery. They start a bakery right across the street, and it's taking all of Hannah's business. Hers and Lisa's. The cookie jar is really getting in trouble. The profits are dropping into the red. Hannah's about to have to take out a loan to try to pay the bills and stuff, and just things aren't going good. Well, the other bakery is famous for their peach cobbler. Her and Mike and Norman and everybody, they get a big helping of it, and they all try it. And they really didn't think it was anything special. And it seems familiar to Hannah. Well, she makes her own Minnesota peach cobbler. She says she can do it just as good as a southern woman can, because that's where Shauna Lee is from, is Georgia. Well, she makes her own peach cobbler, and it's hands down better than theirs. Even Mike says so. And it turns out Hannah realizes what she's selling isn't homemade. It's frozen like you get in the grocery store. But that's not really an important part of the story right now. Or at all. But, so let's fast forward to the wedding. Shauna Lee is supposed to bring a big helping of her peach cobbler, and Hannah's there at the dessert table, greeting everybody, helping people, and Mike's supposed to show up, and she's supposed to be saving a dance for him. Well, the end of the night comes, and Mike never came, and so she ended up dancing with Norman, and she ends up making a date with Norman, but she has to go back to the cookie jar first. Well, she goes back to the cookie jar. Oh yeah, and Shauna Lee never showed up with a peach cobbler either. I think you know where this is going. But, oh Lord, here's Banjo. Hi, Banjo. But anyway, once Hannah gets back to the cookie jar, she noticed that the lights are still on at the bakery across the street. And she's like, oh, I don't want to, but I might as well be neighborly. She tries calling Shauna Lee and saying, hey, your lights are on. Then she thinks maybe there was a break-in or something. So, of course, she walks next door. She investigates. The door is locked. She knocks on it. Nobody answered. Then she goes around the side of it, and she looks in, and she can see into the kitchen. She sees a spilled peach cobbler and a bullet hole in the window. And right there is Shauna Lee's dead body. Hannah found another one. Shauna Lee's there, shot to death, and of course, she starts to go call the police, but then, of all people, Mike shows up. He's like, I couldn't get a hold of Shauna Lee, so I came to check on her. What are you doing here? She's like, well, I kind of did the same thing. I thought there might have been a burglary, and Norman's there by now, too. And so, of course, this is a good friend of Mike's, so he's all pale, and he can't believe Shauna Lee's dead. Well, guess who has the best motive for killing her? How about somebody with a bakery going under because of her bakery? Yes, that's right. Hannah is going to be a key suspect. And of course, Mike asks her, we do this every book, don't investigate. Okay, I want to investigate, but then she investigates. So Hannah, of course, Andrea and Norman, everybody's going to help Hannah clear her name by helping her investigate who really killed Shauna Lee. And it all comes out in this big mystery, and of course it's got the same lovable characters and everything in it. And kind of a twist ending. You don't see you kind of see coming, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen. But this is a very good book. I really liked it. Of course, it's one of my 5-star reads. I love this series. I've already read Cherry Cheesecake Murder, and I can't wait to get into Key Lime Pie Murder, but I don't want to read so many in a row. I want to read the others in between them. Now, I promise next review we're going to have a different author and a different... but I guess that's really all I can say about this book, is just that I love this series, and that gives you the general thing of it. I don't like to give you any spoilers or anything. I am going to give you one spoiler, though. At the end of this book, both Mike and Norman asked Hannah to marry her. They're in a hotel lobby, and Mike's down on one knee, and Norman sees that. No, don't marry her, don't marry him. And so Norman actually goes and has a phone call put into Mike to get his attention away so he can go propose. And so Hannah has 2 proposals now by 2 different men. And that's kind of the setup of the beginning of the next book whenever I review it. So that's something I do need to give you. But other than that, 5-star read, great book, love the series. And I guess that'll do it for this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow Chris Snider at Chris Snider 83. Buy all 6 of his books. They're all on Kindle and paperback, and there you can read them for free if you have Kindle Unlimited. They're all enrolled in that too. And I guess I'm kind of rambling, but that'll do it for this video. And as I always say, or Chris always says, happy reading.